It began with 2 words. Help me. It's not every day you get a call from a duchess in distress.
Alright, so in actual point of fact it was a Range Rover, but the cry for help was real, you could tell with one look. For me, it signaled the allure of unmatched off-road capability paired with sumptuous luxury. In reality, it signaled disaster. Oh, but what a beautiful disaster. You're watching Backyard Dude, and this is our Range Rover Sports Saga. Let's get this out of the way. Our Range Rover was a mess from the very start. Literally. It had been repossessed, and prior to that, it had been a very long time since it was shown any amount of care. Years of grime and neglect removed, Dave set about torture testing, i.e. daily driving it. Soon, there was a problem.
It drove pretty good going forward, but then when I tried to put it in reverse, she said, not today.
The bit of irony here is that the German ZF gearbox is generally considered reliable, unlike a lot of other components used in the Range Rover's construction.
We went through this company to get a replacement rebuilt transmission, got sent out. When they sent out the transmission, apparently one of the steps they missed was they actually cut off the knob to the shifter. So we couldn't hook up the linkage to shift the transmission. So we had to go through the wonderful rigmarole of calling up the company, trying to get to the warranty replacement. And then, of course, you know, there's always the wonderful, hey, we lost your transmission in shipping. It's like, okay, what? How do you lose a transmission in shipping? So after talking to the shipping company and the company that was replacing the transmission, we finally they decided, all right, we'll send out another transmission. So they sent out that transmission, got that baby in. And so this is the end result of the second replacement transmission that we got. And the funny thing is, she runs fast. When I mean fast. Let's go for a ride. So check this fun and interesting trip. Didn't shift, did it?
We knew we had a CVT in the Audi, but maybe they got confused.
4,000 RPM at 70 miles an hour. It's got to be probably third, right?
That would be my guess.
It may be fourth.
Yeah, with the torquey V8, it is possible, but it's in a pretty high gear, which if
Yeah.
it was fourth, it could be the E gear or E clutch, whichever it is. One is Lamborghini, one is ZF.
Yeah. It still pulls pretty good. But
Yeah.
put it in sport mode. There's no number indicator. And so I'm shifting.
Could be programming.
We surmised that it might have been an issue with the transmission control module and not the transmission itself. Thus, the Rangie went back to the transmission shop and was put through another series of diagnostics.
It wasn't just the fact that we had to reprogram the TCM for the transmission, but this might be a hidden gem for you. They actually tie the valve body inside the transmission to the VIN number of the Range Rover. And so what we had to do is we took the main valve body out of the old transmission, we put it in this new transmission, we replaced all the seals and everything, And so we were able to get our fault transmission error message off the screen. So let's go ahead and give us a little test drive and see how she shifts now. Yeah. So you actually think about it, it's just like a little security feature that they kind of tattoo the VIN of the car to the transmission, so it makes it harder for anyone to like strip it down and part it out. Just a quick tip, make sure you change out your valve body and use the original one from the transmission, and that way you can get your transmission all programmed and not have any error codes. And so now we went from a one-shift transmission, a one-gear transmission, to now we're actually having our transmission shift for us. So I don't know if you felt that first shift. Our second shift, still pretty smooth.
Finally working, someone had the brilliant idea to drag race the Range Rover against our Project Audi.
On 3, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
The Range Rover crushed it, thanks in large part to the Audi's terrible throttle response and CVT. Unfortunately, the Range Rover was so overwhelmed with its win, it refused to start. The good news is that leaving the positive battery cable off for a while seems to reset the issue. The bad news is, well, that's pretty obvious. Like I said after the race,
The Range Rover is significantly faster if it's running. However, being a Range Rover means the Audi wins.
flawed and always in need of help, the Range Rover is a true aristocrat.
So that's the end of the segment for the Range Rover. If you like our content, go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Yeah. Bye.